Hey,
12
what is up
gigs of
guys?
RAM
So we're
plus 3
back for
gigabytes
another
of
phone from
expansion.
Vivo, and this time we got the Vivo X60, and I'm very excited about their collaboration with ZEISS. By the way, ZEISS is an international leading technology enterprise operating in the field of optics and optoelectronics, and as part of the collaboration agreement, Vivo and ZEISS will establish the Vivo ZEISS Imaging Lab, a joint R&D program to innovate mobile imaging technology for Vivo's flagship smartphones. And now we can experience it with the new X60 series, which we have right here. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Right, so we're gonna start by lifting the box. The X60 greets you in this plastic cover, which we'll talk about in a bit. Then under this partition, here we have the accessories included. So first we have the 33-watt charger, and then a pair of 3.5mm earphones coupled with extra ear tips, and a USB-C dongle for the earphones. Then we have a SIM card ejector tool and a user manual, and also a hard plastic frosted case, and lastly a USB-C cable. Right, so going back to the Vivo X60, now here we got the shimmer blue, which looks really nice, and as you see, the color shifts depending on how the light hits the panel. It also has a matte finish, which I really like because it doesn't show much of that ugly fingerprints compared to those phones that has glossy finish. And another cool thing about it is that it's made out of Corning Gorilla Glass 6 for added protection. Right, so moving on to the screen, now this has a 6.56 Full HD AMOLED display and is also protected by Corning Gorilla Glass 6. It also has 120Hz screen refresh rate, making your screen swipe buttery smooth. And aside from that, we got an under the display fingerprint scanner. Then on the right side, here are the power button and the volume keys. Below that is the SIM card / memory card tray, mic, USB-C port, and the speaker. Then on top it says professional photography, and there's another mic. Now going to the specs, this phone is powered by Snapdragon 870, 12 gigs of RAM plus 3 gigabytes expansion, 256 gigs of storage, and 4300 milliamp battery. Now, the main focus of this phone are the cameras, since Vivo and ZEISS made a partnership to bring a high-end mobile imaging system, and the fruit of their collaboration are here on the X60 series. So at the back, we got a 48 megapixels primary camera with f1.79 aperture, a 13 megapixels 50mm portrait lens with f2.46 aperture, and then a 13 megapixels ultra-wide lens. Then on the front, we got a 32 megapixels front-facing camera for selfie that has f2.45 aperture. And these cameras are co-engineered with ZEISS, making more consumer experience their cutting-edge technology, which is now in Vivo X60 series phones. And this benefits us as a consumer because we can now take great photos and videos using our Vivo phones. Right, so moving on to the picture quality, here are some sample shots taken using the rear cam. So as you see, they look absolutely nice, very sharp and vivid. Now here are some selfie shots using the front cam. And of course, some video recorded using the rear cam. Right, so the quality of the video is great and the stabilization works pretty well, so I'm giving it a 2 thumbs up. And finally, I can now say that size really does matter and their collaboration with Vivo is really working well. Right, so moving on to some other cool camera features, and one of my favorite is the night mode. So right now, I'm currently in my room and I'm going to turn off the lights so you guys can see how dark it is in here. Then let's go ahead and snap a photo and see how it does. So here is the amazing result, and I'm really impressed because I took this photo at a complete darkness but still came out really bright. Right, so here are some other night mode shots, and these are all taken at a complete darkness. So as you see, they all look really impressive. Next is we have the 48 megapixels mode, and here are some sample shots. Then we have the panorama, which we all know how it works, but there's a standard and super pano on this mode. So here is the standard pano sample, and then here's the super pano. So you can see how wide it is in the super pano. Moving on to the live photo. So this one records a few seconds after you take the photo, so you can still see the action after you snap the photo. So all you have to do is press and hold the screen to see the live photo. And then another favorite feature of mine is the slow-mo mode, and here are some sample videos. So for this shot, it was set to 120 FPS, and here's the 240 FPS slow-mo, which is the max FPS you can shoot on this camera. And then we got the opposite of the slow-mo, which is the time-lapse mode, and here's a sample video using this mode. There's also a pro mode. Now this gives you a total control of the camera just like a DSLR. So you can adjust everything here like ISO and other stuff. And also here's a sample photo using the pro mode. And then we got an AR sticker, which basically just add cute stickers to your photos. So here's a sample photo using the AR sticker. Another cool feature is the super moon. So here you can snap an awesome photo of the moon. So all you have to do is aim for the moon inside the circle, and that's it. And then we have a document mode, which is a nice feature, especially if you need to take a photo of a document like this. Right, so moving on to the next feature, which is the astro mode. Now this feature lets you take a good shot of the starry sky, and here's a sample shot using this mode. So you can see it's absolutely gorgeous. And then there's also a pro sport. Now this lets you take a picture of a moving object like cars or anything moving. Then lastly, we got the long exposure, and this is one of my favorite features, and it's so much fun playing with this mode. You can even choose the type of long exposure that you want. Right, so here are some sample shots using the long exposure. Right, so moving on to gaming, the Vivo X60 can handle most of the games in the App Store. The screen size is just right for CODM and Mobile Legends, so everything works great and buttery smooth, and as a result for CODM, this is the highest settings possible. And then for Mobile Legends, here are the settings. Playing games with the Vivo X60 is really good, and I didn't notice any FPS drop during the game. And as for the temperature, after playing for 1 hour, it doesn't get too hot, so that's a good thing. By the way, I also did some benchmark and the results are pretty good. So as you see, it scored 710,437, which is pretty high, and I'm really impressed. Alright guys, so that is my review of the Vivo X60, and I really like this phone, especially the ZEISS camera, because it takes professional quality photos and videos, and it's really damn good on low light photography, or should I say no light photography, since it's capable of taking photos at super dark places. So all I can say is that I'm really impressed. So yeah, size really does matter, so I highly recommend the Vivo X60. So if you guys have any question, just drop it in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.